Granted, Boots wanted to become undisputed at 147, right? Mm-hmm. But when Devin tried to fight him at 147, he said, no, I'm moving up to 154. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, so.
He's a dangerous fight for anybody.
He's a dangerous fight for anybody.
In the ring on the night. I know it's not his fault.
Yeah, I know that's not ideal how he wanted to win it. You know, I know he's disappointed that he couldn't win it from a champion and whatnot. And it's disappointing for him, but if I was him, I'd just tell him, like, I want to fight for it. Like, I'd rather fight the number 3 guy. You know, if I couldn't get the other guy, you know, don't send me a belt in the mail. But it just seemed like, you know, everybody cool with being female champions now.
The tension between Terence Crawford and Jaron "Boots" Ennis has reached another level, with Crawford openly attacking the rising champion. He labeled Boots overrated and suggested that Ennis has been avoiding the toughest competition available, adding even more fuel to an already heated debate surrounding the young star.
Yeah, man. Devin get a lot of hate. For no reason. I don't know. I don't understand why so many people hate Devin and Shakur. Like, they get the most hate out of all boxers. If you look at the comments when they talking about Devin, when they talk about Shakur, they get the most hate out of everybody. And they willing to fight everybody. Devin fighting everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Devin like, give me Lomachenko, give me him, give me him, give me him. Oh, I wanna fight him. You say he the best, I wanna fight him. Yes. You know, Boots, I wanna fight Boots.
Boots Ennis wasted no time responding to those accusations. He strongly rejected Crawford's claims and maintained that he is willing to fight anyone who steps forward. From his perspective, the criticism doesn't tell the complete story, especially when it comes to the negotiations and circumstances behind the fights being discussed.
It don't make no sense, but I want to go do that. Anybody in their right mind, I'm going for the unification. I'm not about to go to 154 and fight for an interim. I ain't duck nobody, and everybody knew that.
Right.
Anybody can get it any day. Like, right. So yeah, like, people be crazy. People know I don't talk.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I'm talking now, but like, I really don't care, like, the talk and all that on the internet and all that. I know I got people be trying, like, you got to sell the fight, you got to do this, you got to make it. Bro, something might be wrong with me because I can't really talk.
Devin Haney offered another perspective on the situation, making it clear that he was willing to face Boots. However, Haney insisted the contest needed to happen at 147 pounds, refusing the idea of moving up in weight before establishing himself in the division. That condition became an important part of the disagreement.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, Boots is a good fighter, but who is he?
Would you have Boots if that presented
himself? Yeah, no, they asked us. They said, are you guys open to doing a Boots fight? I said 100%. At 147, Boots' team came back with, they wanted to do it at 152. I wanted to do 152. I never even fought at 147 yet. I said, no, if you come down to 147, we can do the fight. I'm not gonna go to 152 for fucking Boots. Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, Boots is a good fighter, but who is he?
Attention then shifted toward the failed negotiations between Boots and Devin Haney. Ennis claims he agreed to the proposed catchweight, only for communication between the sides to suddenly disappear. That development sparked months of arguments among fans over which fighter was genuinely pushing hardest to make the matchup happen.
I wanted to do 152. I never even fought at 147 yet. I said, no, if you come down to 147, we can do the fight.
After I had decided to move up, you know, after everything was going on, I decided to move up and, you know, move to 54. We get a call back a couple days later. He like, me and my team, they like, yo, would you fight Devin at 152? I said, yeah. I'm like, I ain't fighting 54 yet. I can make 52. Like, I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm like, yeah, we never heard nothing back after that. And that's another thing. People be painting these false narratives and saying that I ducked this person. How I ducked him?
Right.
I said, yeah. But y'all don't know that because y'all don't know what's going on behind closed.
Despite all the criticism surrounding him, Boots remains firm in his position. He insists Crawford's opinion doesn't change how he views himself or his place in the division. Ennis still considers himself the best fighter available and believes the only meaningful way to settle that argument is by sharing the ring.
Critiques, so you were like, I don't know, maybe like hate a little bit. I know online he recently said that Fedor is the best guy at 154. He said Fedor would beat you. What do you like to say on that?
I don't pay that no mind though. That stuff be bothering me, but like I said, I'm the best at 154. Everybody know it, and I'm gonna keep standing each every time out. You know?
Crawford's comments are only one part of the constant speculation surrounding Ennis. Boots believes certain fighters benefit from spreading narratives because they assume he won't respond. But according to Ennis, that patience has limits, and he is now prepared to challenge misleading claims whenever they become part of the public conversation.
That, and I think people be using, like I think people be using my name because they know what they think I'm not gonna say that. But now I feel like they're gonna watch themselves. So.
Yeah. Now you're gonna start saying what you feel.
Bro,
Anybody you want to air out?
I see them. I see them.
See, you still quiet.
Yeah, I'm quiet because I don't really be trying to talk to them. That's really ain't me, but like.
Right.
Greg Hackett strongly defended Boots against the criticism, arguing that Ennis has simply followed the same path every elite champion follows when pursuing titles. Hackett believes the so-called ducking narrative ignores the reality of boxing, where fighters naturally pursue the biggest championships and opportunities available to them.
Yo, so if every time Dev go up in weight, he be chasing the belts, right? He be chasing the belts.
Yep.
So if Dev coming up and Boots got the belts, but Boots trying to do the same thing, he trying to get the belts. What do Boots win for fighting Dev? Besides a win.
The name.
At that time. Yeah, but the name is a smaller guy coming up. You're already saying I'm beating up smaller guys.
Hackett expanded on that argument by explaining that chasing major names, championship belts, and lucrative opportunities is a logical part of building a successful career. In his opinion, critics often overlook the calculated decisions fighters have to make, even though those choices can involve significant risks and difficult negotiations behind the scene.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go where the big guys at, and I'm gonna win there. So then I fight Xander, and I fight for 2 belts instead of 1. What's wrong with that? Dev did the same shit, didn't he? At 140. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna go with the opportunity, the money, the legacy, all of that shit matters at once. You know what I'm saying? They doing the same thing Bill and them be doing. Same thing. We gonna go where the smoke is at, but the smoke come with a trinket, it come with a check, it come with some notoriety, it comes with, you know what I'm saying? It gives me something to be proud about. You feel me?
Virgil Ortiz Jr. insists he has already pursued fights with Boots, Sebastian Fundora, and other available champions. His comments suggest that many of the obstacles happened outside the ring rather than because fighters were unwilling to compete. Ortiz also emphasized that fans rarely see how much negotiations involving contracts, guarantees, and purse splits can delay major matchups.
Man, I just want the best fights, no matter who it is. Jaron Ennis, Fundora, anyone with the belt. You know, there's really not anyone in the top 10 that I haven't fought or that I haven't tried to fight. You know, at this point, you know, people just need to take the fights, you know, and a lot of people want to say, how come you haven't tried this route, you know, just because I'm not calling people out on social media like everyone else does, doesn't mean I'm telling my manager, hey, let's make this fight. That doesn't mean I'm not talking to the WBC like, hey, how come we haven't made this fight happen yet? You know what I mean? Like we've done our part, you know. I'm not a very vocal guy. Well, I'm starting to be because I feel like I have to be. And I don't know, it's a bit of a change of character. I'm just starting to care less and less.
Ortiz continued expressing frustration over the way fans interpret every development. He believes people often twist the outcome regardless of what actually happened during negotiations. Even when a fighter publicly calls for a matchup, Ortiz says critics can still find a way to portray the situation as an example of avoidance.
1, the fight doesn't happen with Jaron Ennis. Oh, I'm ducking the fight. You know, Virgil Ortiz doesn't want to fight Jaron Ennis. Now we're calling him out. Oh, he's begging for the fight. You like what kind of logic is that? You know, I just respectfully, that is just stuff that I deal with and other boxers deal with on a day-to-day basis. That doesn't make any kind of sense. I just don't understand how the gears are working up there. You know, like they're turning the wrong way. I don't get it. But anyways, I could keep on talking about this.
When discussing his own confidence against Boots, Ortiz remained convinced that his style could give Ennis serious problems. He believes he has identified certain weaknesses and tendencies that others may overlook. According to Ortiz, the specific tools he brings into the ring could create challenges that aren't always obvious from simply watching fights from the outside.
I do. I definitely do. But I mean, I got him. I got him.
Based on what you saw in that fight, and you've seen prior, of course, too, but like what you saw in that fight, that showed you something?
it proved something. It didn't really show me something. It just I always knew it, but just seeing it, I got him.
Robert Garcia sees the decision to pursue other opponents as something that revealed more than public statements ever could. In his view, this isn't simply another title defense for Boots. It's about whether Ennis genuinely wanted to face one of the division's toughest challenges. Garcia believes matchmaking decisions can sometimes reveal a fighter's priorities more clearly than anything said during interviews.
His dad, Virgil himself, we want to fight Boots. We want that fight to happen. Hearing from Eddie that Boots might want to unify against Josh Kelly. Yeah. Well, if you do that, that's taking advantage of a fighter that's injured, that's hurt. You see that cut? Yeah. That cut is like an inch deep. Yeah. That cut is big. If you bring somebody like that to a November fight, you're taking advantage of that. You're taking advantage of that, and the fighter will probably do it because he's a fighter, he's a warrior, and he'll probably get the biggest payday in his career, and he could lose to anybody else because, let's be real, Kelly might not be the best in the division. So they're going after him to take advantage of that opportunity to get another belt under his belt, which would be 3, which is great. But when you have somebody like Virgil, who's asking for it. So November's a perfect date. He had a great fight.
Come back against Boots or to get a tune-up and then Boots?
No, we don't need a tune-up.
Right.
We want to go straight into Boots.
As questions continue surrounding Boots' choice of opponents, Garcia believes Ennis understands exactly how difficult a fight with Ortiz could be. He argues that selecting different matchups instead of facing Virgil may speak louder than any explanation offered afterward. To Garcia, avoiding a particular style can sometimes reveal more than simply avoiding competition altogether.
Look, I know. I don't think, man. I know. Man.
You got history against Bozy in the corner. Look, you did well in January.
That's why Bozy will even say, no, that's not our next fight. We're going to go unify because they think that's more important. No, it's not. They know Virgil will beat him. Or else they would take.
Terence Crawford believes Virgil Ortiz would represent a more difficult challenge for Boots than Sebastian Fundora. Crawford points toward Ortiz's relentless pressure and disciplined fundamentals as the biggest reasons. In his opinion, a technically sound pressure fighter can create more problems for an elite boxer than a physical mismatch based primarily on height and reach.
But for me, I say Virgil.
Really?
I say Virgil.
Wow, even though Fundora's 6'6" and has a long distance.
Because Fundora leave the door open to get caught.
Right.
But Fundora, he's getting better.
Yeah.
He's definitely getting better. But Virgil, he gonna be in your face. He gonna have his hands up. He gonna be jabbing you, with a stiff jab and going to your body. And with Fundora, he want to get inside.
Yeah.
He tall, but he don't want to. He don't
like
want to
bang too.
He don't want to fight you on the outside.
Right.
He gonna
be in there. Yeah.
He gonna bing, 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 and then when you get in inside, it's boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So,
Paulie Malignaggi considers Sebastian Fundora one of the most dangerous opponents Boots could face because of his extraordinary height, awkward southpaw stance, constant pressure, and serious punching power. He believes the matchup is extremely difficult to predict, with both fighters possessing unique strengths that could dramatically change the fight at any moment.
And Fundora, of course, is a very difficult guy to deal with. Listen, Fundora is going to be difficult to deal with for anybody. And so Ennis and Fundora, I really, really would get excited for Ennis and Fundora. That's a really good fight. And for me, that's not an easy fight for either of them. That's a tough fight to call, man. I don't know. I would love to know what some of the comments think at home. And don't be biased about just because one guy you like one guy over the other. I'm talking about seriously, from a boxing perspective. Ennis and Fundora. Listen, Fundora's an awkward fight for anybody because of his height and the power that he's got at that weight. But really, to break it down, it would be interesting and it's a really weird, strange fight to try to figure.
That potential showdown has created another major debate, with Brennan Edwards predicting an action-packed encounter between Boots Ennis and Sebastian Fundora. He believes both champions are willing to trade punches and impose their preferred styles rather than simply sit back and wait. Because neither fighter appears afraid of danger, Edwards expects fireworks from the opening bell.
If Boots is getting a little lazy, getting a little carefree, and playing around a little bit, I think that Boots and Fundora is an absolute Hagler-Hearns type of shootout. I think Boots is mean as a rattlesnake, and he's gonna have to step to Fundora. I don't know if his jab especially to the head, will be that effective against a guy that's 6'6". So you have to jab him to his body a lot and kind of step to him. And I think he's with that. That's the kind of fighter he is. I think that I think that will be an early round shootout. I think that will be the kind of fight that will end.
Eddie Hearn believes Boots Ennis combines elite boxing intelligence with natural offensive instincts in a way very few fighters can match. According to Hearn, that balance makes Ennis one of the most complete boxers in the sport. His ability to adjust during a fight could also be crucial when attempting to solve the unusual problems created by Sebastian Fundora.
I think Boots is capable of doing it. Like, Boots is the first fighter with this kind of IQ that can also fight. Right, and that's what I think you guys...
Can you elaborate on that?
So what I mean by that is, there are so many fighters with the IQ of Boots, or similar IQ, that styles do not entertain, or overly entertaining. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, when you talk about IQ in the sport, tell me the top 5 guys who've got that kind of IQ. Shakur, Devin Haney, Tank maybe, but Tank's exciting, but whoever he fights against, another story, right? So those kind of guys.
But I mean,
yeah. But what do you get what I'm saying?
I do.
But Boots will sit in the pocket. He will fight you. He will attack you. He can box off the back foot, but he actually likes to come and fight.
Hearn continued by emphasizing just how different Fundora's style is compared with other opponents. His extreme height, enormous reach, and awkward southpaw positioning create a completely different puzzle. Hearn believes only a fighter with exceptional ring IQ, patience, and the ability to make constant adjustments can consistently break down that style, and he sees Boots as having those qualities.
He's a 154-pounder, but you've got to be good enough to adapt to everything. And that's the problem. A lot of these guys, no disrespect to Keith Thurman, but he's been done for a while. Yeah. But Tim Tszyu, these kind of guys, they're all great fighters, but they just can't adapt to styles. Josh has got an unbelievable IQ. Boots has probably got the best IQ in the game, I think. They can adapt in those kind of fights, and that's what you need to do, because Fundora is a massive problem. Because how do you prepare for
Eddie Hearn also praised Sebastian Fundora for accepting one of the most difficult challenges available rather than avoiding it. However, despite giving the champion plenty of credit, Hearn still believes Boots Ennis has the superior overall package. His skill, ring intelligence, and natural talent could eventually allow him to break Fundora down and leave the ring with a victory.
A little bit baffled, and that's why I respect him so much, because we as fight fans should respect him so much. Puerto Rico should respect him so much, because we all moan, don't we? Oh, you know, and everyone's like, how are you going to get Boots a big fight? How are you going to get Boots a big fight? And I'm sitting there after the Ortiz stuff going, who? And this kid steps up, and that's why I respect him so much. And he's a serious threat, but he ain't gonna be good enough.
From a fighter's perspective, Jorge Linares believes Fundora possesses a dangerous combination of power, movement, and boxing ability. He explained that very few fighters at this level bring together such a complete set of skills. That versatility makes Fundora dangerous from different ranges and extremely difficult for opponents to prepare for, particularly with limited time to adjust.
Believe me, I'm with the champion. I know Fundora is one amazing fighter, but the champion has a lot of punch, a lot of quality. He's southpaw. He moves very well in the ring. He sends a good combination all the time. He's going like little by little. That's the point Fundora don't have. So, but I want to see that. If I'm Fundora, I cannot take that fight. So it's not easy for him. So, but let's see. You know how it's boxing. Every day is different. Every time is different. And every moment. Every fighter have different moment, different timing. But for me, in this way, in this category, he's the best.
Sebastian Fundora believes Boots Ennis is the obvious opponent to target because the biggest names in the division are now operating under the same promotional banner. With both fighters holding world titles and an undisputed opportunity becoming increasingly realistic, Fundora believes the matchup is simply too important to ignore. He also points out that major fights rarely line up so perfectly, with both champions active, healthy, and positioned under the same promotional umbrella.
Just watching the highlights of the fight, because I didn't get to watch the whole fight, but watching the highlights of the fight, I was like, okay, this should be next. This should be mixed. It makes sense to me, especially now with the zone stuff and PBC signing with the zone. It only makes sense now. The Virgil fights, the Boots fights, if Zayas stays at 154, the Zayas fights. All these guys, they make sense. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. You know, it's like these guys found the same platform. Let's put them together. You know, because I mean, you're gonna see me fight later on this year again. You're gonna see.
Boots Ennis believes a fight with Sebastian Fundora carries more importance than any other available matchup because it would give him the opportunity to unify the division against another reigning champion. He wants to face the biggest challenge possible and prove himself against the best. For Ennis, simply winning another fight isn't enough. Becoming undisputed would allow him to answer the remaining questions about his place among the world's elite. Unification fights carry a different level of significance because they can settle debates that rankings and opinions alone never truly resolve.
We locked in on the belt right now, and I feel like the two guys on the belt is a bigger fight right now. Even Fundora, I feel like Fundora is a bigger fight. Everybody want to see that. I don't feel like nobody. Virgil T's on, yes, a good fight. I feel like it's like dying down. Nobody really want to see it because I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna knock him out. They're gonna be like, he was telling me. They already seen it now. So I'd rather fight the tall guy that y'all think is mine.
Crawford calls Boots a ducker, while Ortiz has made similar accusations. But despite all the criticism building outside the ring, Ennis appears focused on one fight that could potentially silence the entire debate, a unification showdown with Sebastian Fundora. Would defeating Fundora finally put the ducking accusations to rest, or would critics continue questioning Boots regardless of what he accomplishes? Let us know your prediction in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more boxing news and fight analysis.